Welcome, Girl Scouts! We're so excited that you're joining us for our virtual cookie rally and for your participation in this year's Girl Scout cookie program. My name is Akshara and I'm a Girl Scout ambassador. I'm also a Girl Scout board member and a part of the Girl Scout Leadership Network. Woohoo! I get the pleasure of kicking us off today. Right now, we have a sisterhood of more than 1,000 Girl Scouts viewing this live cookie rally broadcast. This is just the start of a sweet and successful cookie season. This broadcast and the cookie activity videos you can find linked in your event confirmation will help you to go bright ahead into cookie season, where you'll set cookie goals, learn super useful life skills, and find out what you're capable of. In today's virtual rally, we have some special things in store for you, including a message from our CEO and a visit from the Dolphin Communication Project. We'll also play a cookie-themed game, go on a virtual tour of the cookie factory, and more. Before I turn it over to Christy Brown for a special message from our CEO, please welcome Troop 37547 and join us in reciting the Girl Scout Promise.
On my honor, I will try to serve God in my country, to help people all at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout laws.
Hello, Girl Scouts. It's me, Christy Brown, CEO here at Girl Scouts of Wisconsin Southeast. It's the sweetest time of the year. Our iconic Girl Scout cookie program is about to begin. I'm so proud of you all, and I'm here to cheer you on as you start your own cookie business and flex your leadership skills. Your customers will definitely be impressed by your awesome entrepreneurial knowledge, and I know you'll have a fantastic time setting goals, finding creative ways to connect with cookie lovers in your community, and riding this tide of fun all the way to the end of cookie season. Raise your flipper, hand, if you're as excited as I am to kick off cookie season. Each year, people look forward to supporting you and buying their favorite cookie flavors. Your customers are sure to flip out this year, deciding which of the 10 cookie varieties to purchase. There are fan favorites like Thin Mints, Peanut Butter Patties, Caramel Delights, and the classic trefoils, to newer options including Adventurefuls and the Raspberry Rally. This year's cookie program officially has the most cookie flavors to choose from. But as a cookie boss, you know that selling cookies isn't just about providing tasty treats to customers that you see. You sell cookies for a purpose, to power life-changing programs and experiences for yourself and Girl Scout sisters all year long. Running your very own business makes future Girl Scout adventures possible. You can enjoy camping trips where you test your strengths and grow a deep appreciation for nature. You can experience STEM projects that build your curiosity. Or you can take action doing community service projects that inspire you to change the world. Whatever you decide to do with the money you earned from selling cookies, all the newly found skills you'll gain will click into place. There's nothing fishy about the power of the Girl Scout Cookie Program. Participating in the largest girl-led business in the world is one of the most special things you can do as a Girl Scout. You can create budgets, learn how to interact with customers, take orders, count money and make change, and of course, it allows you to build self-confidence as you master essential skills and reach your goals. The Girl Scout Cookie Program will help you learn and practice invaluable and sophisticated skills to help you succeed throughout the rest of your lives. So, what will you learn today during this virtual cookie rally? Well, you'll get to hear from top cookie selling Girl Scouts on ways they've taken their cookie selling goals to new levels. You'll also learn more about dolphins, this year's cookie program mascot, in case you hadn't already guessed. And our cookie team is here to share tips and tricks so you can sell more cookies than ever before. Whether selling cookies in a traditional cookie booth or finding clever ways to pitch your cookie sales online to friends, family, and neighbors in your community. But most importantly, I hope this time together is fun. And before I wrap up, I'd like to give a special spout out to all the cookie captains, troop leaders, helping hands, friends, and family who helped the Girl Scout Cookie Program go so swimmingly well. Your dedicated support helps Girl Scouts learn, grow, and thrive. Well, let me be the first to wish you a fun and successful cookie season. I am so excited to see how you will dive head over fins into this year's cookie program and reach all of your cookie goals. Good luck, have fun, and I'll see you at the finish line. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Christy. And hello, Girl Scouts. My name is Wendy Dahl, and my job is to lead the cookie program here at Girl Scouts. I'd say I have a pretty sweet job. Did you know that there's a new Girl Scout cookie this year? This year, cookie-loving customers across the country can get a big taste of deliciousness with the new Raspberry Rally cookie. Raspberry Rally is a thin, crispy cookie infused with raspberry flavor and dipped in the same delicious chocolatey coating as our beloved Thin Mint cookie. This new cookie is only available online for direct ship while supplies last, giving you all new ways to practice your e-commerce sales and entrepreneurial skills. Also, it might be helpful for you to know that our Girl Scout shortbread cookie has a new name. This classic cookie is now called the Girl Scout Trefoils. Few brands are strong enough to be identified simply by a color or a shape, but we have both the unique shade of the Girl Scout green and the singular Girl Scout trefoil symbol working for us. Girl Scout trefoils capture the recognizable shape of our Girl Scout trefoil in the same cookie that you know and love. Traditionally, girls used to use an order card like this to take their orders. And this year you can take your cookie selling business online too. That means you can ask customers to purchase and pay for cookies online through an email, a text, a Facebook post, or almost anything. This is a great way for you to keep yourself, your troop, your family, and your customers safe and engaged during this cookie season. Ask your parents to help you set up your online account to get started. You should have already received the email with the link to set up. Starting on February 1st, you can have your parents help you by emailing your friends and family, and you can even post your selling link in text on Facebook. You can even download the Smart Cookie app if you have a cell phone. This way of selling is so much easier because Smart Cookies will keep track of all your sales for you. And don't forget to look at the reward sheet to see what you want to earn and set a goal before you even get started. I wish you all good luck this cookie season. I know you can all reach your goals.
I can't wait to taste the new cookie. My name is Madison, I'm a Girl Scout senior, and this is my first year in the Girl Scout Leadership Network. With all this talk about Girl Scout cookies, it makes me wonder how they're really made. How would you like to take a quick dive and find out? All the different varieties, to all the ingredients needed for each cookie, to all the career types involved, then multiplying all that for the Girl Scout cookies sold, not just in our council, but across the entire United States. Wow, my brain is just spinning, thinking about how big that operation must be. Up next in today's cookie rally, we're going to take you on a virtual tour of a Girl Scout cookie factory. Please note that since this factory tour was produced, a couple of things have changed. For example, some of the cookie varieties and packaging have changed. You know, now that Girl Scout shortbreads are called trefoils, and the parent company to ABC Bakers is now Hearthside Food Solutions. Anyway, enjoy the tour.
Girl Scout cookies are made with ingredients just like you use at home, except ours are delivered in big trucks and trains. Our warehouse is always busy, receiving, checking, and sampling ingredients like flour and sugar, and packaging materials like cartons and trays, and moving them into the bakery.
The warehousing department uses a detailed shopping list just like the one you take to the store. Over 650,000 pounds of flour are used weekly to create our Girl Scout cookies. Forklifts bring the ingredients to different areas of the bakery.
Each ingredient is inspected, measured, and processed according to the cookie formulas. Sanitation is very important, and everyone that works at the bakery wears a hairnet. Jewelry is not allowed. Even the pockets on the uniforms are sewn shut.
The assembly department gathers, prepares, and delivers everything to the mixing department in order to make a batch of cookies. Both machines and employees weigh and mix ingredients. One batch of Caramel Delights uses 800 pounds of flour, 305 pounds of sugar, and 140 pounds of shortening, and makes about 142,000 cookies. The bakery uses different mixers according to the kind of dough. Some mixers hold up to 2,400 pounds of flour.
The dough for cookies like Thin Mints and shortbreads goes into hoppers, machines that ready it for forming into cookies.
Next, rollers cut the dough into individual cookie pieces and place them on the oven conveyor belt. Before baking, some cookies get a final touch to enhance their flavor, color, or look. Then, the cookies move through the ovens on long belts that move in the exact time it takes to bake the cookies. Each oven is about 300 feet long, the length of a football field. The ovens have several sections, each with separate temperature controls, to make sure the cookies are baked just right. If you look through the oven window, you can see the dough baking. This is the hottest part of the bakery. The cookies then wind around on conveyors because they need to cool down after baking. Some types of cookies get coatings and ingredients added to them, such as caramel, coconut, or chocolate.
Next, the cookies are lined up, stacked, and divided by weight or count to go into their packaging.
In one part of the packaging department, employees help sort cookies. In another area, employees monitor the high-speed packaging equipment that wraps the cookies. Machines then place wrapped cookies into boxes.
The boxes are then weighed and put in cases for shipping.
The cases of cookies are arranged on a wooden pallet and shrink-wrapped. They look like giant blocks. These wrapped pallets ensure safe and easy delivery to distribution centers and Girl Scout councils across the country.
Trucks are loaded and driven to their destinations throughout the United States. During peak season, trucks work 24 hours a day. In the bakery offices, distribution experts monitor orders, production, and deliveries to be sure everyone gets their cookies on time.
Hello Girl Scouts, my name is Tessa. I'm a Girl Scout ambassador and I'm also part of the Girl Scout Leadership Network. Thanks for including me in this virtual cookie rally. I'm already having so much fun. Watching the Cookie Factory tour video is igniting my Girl Scout cookie cravings. My favorite Girl Scout cookie is the Thin Mint because I love the chocolate and mint flavors together. I bet you have a favorite Girl Scout cookie too. Tell us what your favorite Girl Scout cookie is by typing it in the chat. I wonder which cookie will be the most popular as everyone's favorite. In December, we launched a Girl Scout cookie song parody contest. In a song parody, you'll hear a tune of a song that might sound familiar to you, but there will be new lyrics to the song. Our parodies are all Girl Scout cookie themed. We had so much fun viewing everyone's submissions, but it was very difficult to choose the top videos we are featuring in this virtual rally. All the song parodies that were submitted were creative and fun. That's the Girl Scout way. Please enjoy the top song parodies we'd like to share with you.
You make me feel like I'm living a cookie dream. When you order now, please help me. I'll hand deliver, don't pay shipping, don't pay shipping. I got things a lot in my heart, and lemonades and chocolate. I got the mint and peanut butter patties and caramel delight and peanut butter sandwiches.
My leader says there's a new flavor. My sister is a brownie. I can't even waste a taste. Miss that snack it left us in. My mom's favorite is lemonades. I think mine is a Thin Mint. Wait, it's peanut butter patty. Wait, no, it's the sandwich.
Oh my gosh, that's so insane. Oh my gosh, you all came.
Next I work a Girl Scout cookie stand. Remember last year all the fun we had. I really like using my head. The world's smallest compact van. I really need to get to camp, so I work really hard to run my spot. I'll jump right in the lake and roast a yummy marshmallow. Just let me roast a marshmallow for you, you. My grandpa likes trefoils and my dad he eats them too. My older brother and his friends love all the cookies, none offend. Hey, I am almost there, to the goal are you aware? I have a few adventurefuls, maybe a toasty egg.
Oh my gosh, it's so insane. Oh my gosh, you all came.
Next I work a cookie stand. Remember last year all the fun we had. I really like using my head. The world's smallest compact bin. I really need to get to camp, so I work really hard to earn my spot. I'll jump right into the lake and roast a yummy marshmallow. Just let me roast a marshmallow for you. Somewhere in summer camp, somewhere someone made it there. Wish I could contain myself, wish I didn't want to squeal. The world's smallest compact van, I really need to get to camp, so I work really hard to earn my spot. I'll jump right into the lake and roast a yummy marshmallow up and down the camp trail, so trying to eat a toasty egg. Finishing this and be like, camp is so adventureful. Maybe just a delightful day, or maybe just a lemon and a coming with the peanut ones. I'll see about a trip for you. New memories, sing a camp melody, so let me roast a marshmallow with you.
Hello Girl Scouts, my name is Megan. I'm a Girl Scout ambassador and I'm also part of the Girl Scout Leadership Network. Next we're going to play a virtual game. Wherever you are watching from, you can play along with me. This game is called Spot the Difference and it's kind of like a photo hunt. In just a few moments, two almost identical images will appear on your screen. Your goal is to look at both images and compare them to spot the difference. There will be 9 differences to look for and you'll have 2.5 minutes to find as many differences as you can. After the time is up, we'll reveal the 9 differences one at a time. Are you ready? Here come the images.
is always a fun and quick game. I think I found all the differences, did you? Hi everyone, my name is Genevieve. I'm a Girl Scout ambassador and a member of our Girl Scout board. I have the honor of introducing you to our very special featured guest today, the Dolphin Communications Project. Because this year's cookie theme is all about dolphins, we thought it would be cool to invite our new friend from the Dolphin Communications Project to join us. The Dolphin Communications Project's mission is to promote the scientific study of the dolphins and inspire their conservation. Our dolphin expert is joining us all the way from the Bahamas to share what she knows about our lovable friend, the dolphin. We have a video from the Dolphin Communications Project we would love to show that showcases who they are and what they do. Then we have a group of Girl Scouts who will chat with the dolphin expert and ask her questions about the dolphins. All right, here we go. Welcome, the Dolphin Communications Project.
DCP was officially born in 2000, but the data that I collected for my PhD in the early 90s in the Bahamas, as well as the data that I collected on dolphins around Mikura Island for my postdoc, are part of DCP, and they allowed me to start DCP with a solid 10-year foundation of data looking at dolphin communication and behavior. My research since inception, since 1991, has been co-sponsored by ecotourism. And what that means is people from all walks of life and almost all ages come and join us in the field to help collect data on dolphins and to learn about dolphins in situ.
DCP offers custom field courses both independently and in conjunction with a number of different universities. During all courses, students are introduced to dolphin science using a combination of lectures, readings, discussion, and hands-on research.
Which end do I go
to? Each field course offers subject content in two formats. The first is more formal with classroom lectures that cover topics including behavior, conservation, physiology, training and operant conditioning, as well as confirming dolphin IDs in the video data. The second format is more informal and takes place as discussion sessions during which students exchange thoughts, questions, and ideas with the professors on research, the day's events, or other topics related to the course. While several of these informal discussions are planned, they can also take place whenever and wherever the need arises.
But Ellie's is very distinctive, very curved, and she looks like she's got a big dorsal fin and a big pectoral.
An integral part of each field course is offering the students the opportunity to help DCP with daily data collection. Spending long hours under a hot tropical sun can be strenuous. So, we make sure everyone gets some fun in the water. Daily snorkels on the reef afford the students an opportunity to swim with non-dolphin creatures. While these in-water programs are great fun, more often than not, these field courses are the first time that many of these students have seen a dolphin underwater.
Woo! That was so fun!
Through DCP's university field courses, we're able to give all students an opportunity to see science in action. And we hope that that might inspire some of those students to take more courses in STEM fields or maybe pursue a career in a STEM field. And it begins even before the university level. And we're able to do connections via the internet with summer camps and classrooms. And we hope that by reaching out to younger students as well, that we can inspire them to pursue that path, try that path, and hopefully get more action going in the STEM fields.
Hi, everybody. We are now at that time that I bet you've all been waiting for. Dolphins are playful, smart, and social. And just like you, I'm excited to learn more. My name is Sue Molina, and I'm the director of the Girl Scout Leadership Experience with Girl Scouts of Wisconsin Southeast. I'm delighted to welcome the Dolphin Communication Project with us as our featured guest tonight for this virtual rally. I'd like to start by having our guest expert introduce herself. Kel?
Hello, Scouts. I am very excited to be with you, albeit virtually. I am speaking to you from my home on the island of Bimini, which is a tiny island in the country of the Bahamas. I am, however, originally from Connecticut, where I was sure I was not going to stay for college, but then I did, and it ended up pretty good for me. I did a summer internship with the Dolphin Communication Project, studying the wild dolphins off Bimini, and then I came back the next summer, and then the next summer, and then the next summer, and eventually the island became my home. I've lived here full time now for nearly 15 years, and now I lead DCP's outreach efforts, including joining programs like this one.
Thank you so much, Kel. Again, we're so excited for you to be able to join us today all the way from the Bahamas. What's the weather like right there right now?
It was a little cold today, so when I went grocery shopping right before sunset, you know, it might have been like a chilly 74 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh my goodness, that's like summer for us here. I think we're all jealous. All right, so also joining us today, we have Girl Scout friends from Troop 6252. So you all are here because several weeks ago, we'd asked all of the participants that were registered for the cookie rally for any questions that they might have for our expert Kel with the Dolphin Communication Project. And Troop 6252, you guys are here to help ask all of those questions. So we looked through all the questions that were submitted. There were lots of them. And we have time for about 8 questions. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to jump right in and ask the first question. And I have the pleasure of asking the first question before we turn it over to the rest of the Girl Scouts. And so Kel, our Girl Scouts want to know how many different types of dolphins are there?
So you might have started with this question thinking it was like a simple, straightforward answer. And you will see that it's often not. First, we have to define what you mean by types of dolphins. So if by types of dolphins, you mean how many species are there, then the answer is usually 37. So 37 different species in the family Delphinidae. That's according to the Society for Marine Mammalogy. But this number changes over time as we make more observations farther out in the ocean, as we learn more about the genetics of dolphins. So that number, when these scouts are older, might be different than it is right now. There are also subspecies of dolphins. For example, common dolphins are one species of dolphin, but there are 4 subspecies of common dolphins. And beyond that, there's something called an ecotype, And so ecotypes of species like offshore and inshore bottlenose dolphins are in addition to that 37 different species. And there's a lot more to learn about all of them.
Awesome. That's a lot. That's way more than I thought there was going to be, because they all look the same. You know, when you see videos and such, like even in the videos that the video that we watched prior to the Q&A right now. So I think we have Mackenzie and Madison that just hopped on. Mackenzie, we already asked the first question. So Madison, it is your turn to ask the second question. So if you can go ahead and unmute and ask the second question.
Okay, so how big do dolphins get?
Whoa, how big do they get? Well, I'm gonna first tell you about how long they live, because that is gonna lead into how big they get. So even though we're talking about dolphins, for a minute, let's think about dogs. So if you think of different breeds of dogs, who lives longer usually? A really big breed like a Saint Bernard, or a little breed like a Chihuahua? Any guesses? So generally, the smaller breeds, that's right. Usually the smaller breeds of dogs live longer than larger breeds. So now we'll switch back to dolphins, and it's usually the opposite of dogs. So in dolphins, the larger species tend to live longer. Does anyone know what the largest dolphin species is?
No.
No. It's the killer whale. But it has whale in its name. Even though the killer whale has the word whale in its common name, it's actually the largest member of the dolphin family. They can grow up to 32 feet long. So like, picture your school bus. And in some parts of the world, they can live 80 to 90 years, maybe even more. The smaller species of dolphins, like the bottlenose dolphins, the Atlantic spotted dolphins that I study, they're much smaller, and so they have shorter lifespans.
Wow, that was a great question. All right, Sarah, are you ready for your question?
Yep. So my question is, what are some unique features of a dolphin's body? For example, how many teeth do dolphins have? And how are they able to jump so high out of the water?
Dolphin anatomy. There's still a lot to be studied and discovered in terms of how their bodies work. Some of the terms for their body parts are the same as fish. So their dorsal fin is on their back, their pectoral fins are off to the side. And getting to the teeth, they are toothed whales, or odontocetes is the nerdy scientific term. But the number of teeth they have depends on the species. If we think about bottlenose dolphins, a really well-studied species, they have between 70 and 100 teeth in their mouth. Those teeth are pretty sharp, they're pointed, they're really good for grabbing prey, they're not so good for chewing. And then thinking about their body again, in terms of your question about jumping, their tail at the back of their body is often called a fluke. And then, so if you look from in front of that fluke up to the back of the dorsal fin, that fin on the back, that section of their tail is called the peduncle. And it's where the power is. That peduncle is really, really strong. And so that gives them the power to chase down their prey, evade their predator, or as you mentioned in your question, leap clear out of the water.
Now, do dolphins have a lot of endurance, or are they like sprinting type of, animals?
Good follow-up question. So there can really be more like the marathon runners. So for most dolphins, their only natural predator would be a shark in the area, a big shark in the area, and they're the sprinters. They've got one shot burst swimming, whereas the dolphins are able to swim faster for longer periods of time.
Interesting. Thanks. Thanks for sharing. All right, Trinity, you're up. Question with the next question.
Okay, my question is, what kinds of habitats do dolphins prefer to live in, and where do you find dolphins? And where can you find them?
Excellent question. Thank you. Dolphins have evolved to live in a variety of aquatic habitats, right? They need the water, and after that, they can be in lots of places. There are dolphins in shallow water. There are dolphins in deep water. In fact, some dolphins even live in rivers. River dolphins are actually among the most endangered of the dolphin species, and that's often because of pollution in the rivers, bycatch, loss of habitat. Dolphins in general, is a big group. They're in every ocean. The killer whale is found in every ocean and is probably the most widely distributed. It's spread out the most of all the cetaceans. And cetacean is the fancy word for whales and dolphins all together as a group. Bottlenose dolphins also have a pretty extensive range where they can be found in the world. Then other species prefer to just be in warmer waters or just be in cooler waters. The Atlantic spotted dolphins, that's one of the species I studied here in the Bahamas for almost 18 years. Guess what ocean the Atlantic spotteds live in? The Atlantic. But their kind of cousin, the pantropical spotted dolphin, lives in the Atlantic and the Pacific. So big oceans, lots of water. So we need more dolphin scientists to be out there studying them.
It is fascinating how different dolphins are and that they live in rivers. I did not know that. So thanks for sharing that. Bobby, are you ready to answer your question?
Okay. My question is, what do dolphins eat and how do they drink fresh water?
Ooh, so this one depends on the dolphin species and where it lives. It's not an easy answer, like all dolphins eat this one particular thing, but dolphins in general, very savvy at finding their food. They can use their echolocation to find prey in murky water, especially those river dolphins. They can use their echolocation to find their prey, their fish at night when it's dark. Most dolphins do eat fish. Off Bimini, we've seen the spotted dolphins chasing houndfish, which is a long, skinny fish. We've seen them chasing and grabbing, eating mackerel. The bottlenose dolphins here love to eat tiny fish and little eels that are buried in the sand. They actually swim along the sandy sea floor, and when they detect something tasty, they abruptly switch and they go up and down. So their head is pointed down into the sand, and they kind of corkscrew and dig their faces into the sand. It's been dubbed crater feeding because after they dig and they've been feeding in this area, when you look down at the sandy sea floor, it looks like the surface of the moon. And then as far as fresh water, the second part of your question, they don't need any extra. So they don't need to find a river, they don't need to find a spring, they don't need anybody to give them fresh water. They're very efficient with how their body uses water, fresh water. So for example, they don't sweat like us. Like when it's a hot summer day and you need to make sure you're drinking water to replace your sweat, the dolphins don't sweat. And so they get all the fresh water they need from the prey, from the fish, the eels, the crabs that they're eating. That's all they need. Good questions.
So they're not drinking ocean water. They're getting the water from everything else. I wondered about that too. Thank you. Violet.
My question is, how do dolphins communicate with each other? Can dolphins communicate with humans or other animals? And if so, how?
Good question. And of course, I'm with the Dolphin Communication Project, so I have to address this one. First, dolphins are like us in that they have a very complex communication system. So if you ladies were to think about how you communicate, what's the first thing that might come to your mind in what we're doing in this meeting? speaking,
You can
right? So
unmute,
we're
girls.
using our verbal language as our main way to communicate. But that's not the only way we communicate. So if anybody who wants to, if you want to unmute yourselves, and I want you to ask me how I'm doing.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much. Okay, now I want you to ask me again. Same question. How are you doing?
How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much. So my words were the same. The English words that came out of my mouth were the same. But did I communicate the same message to you in my two answers?
No.
No, it was very different, right? And you understood that, even though my words were the same. You understood my posture when I was answering tall versus when I was answering kind of hunched over, the tone of my voice, my eye contact with you. All of those things together sent two very different messages, even with the same words. So you didn't come to talk to me about how I'm doing today. So we'll get back to dolphins. But dolphins can do the same thing. They have lots of vocalizations. Their verbal communication, we call that vocalizing. They have whistles, chirps, squeaks, squawks, but they also have postures. How are they positioning their body? They have their swimming speed. They have physical contact. Are they touching each other? And if so, how? So when we're observing dolphins and we're trying to figure out what types of messages they might be communicating to each other, we want to take all of these things into account, not just one little sound that we hear. Now, in terms of us communicating with them, I can't have a vocal conversation with a dolphin. I can't speak English to the dolphin and then have them whistle back to me and know what was just communicated. But I can communicate with them in other ways and observe their communication. So in the Bahamas, when I was doing my research here, I had a permit to video the dolphins underwater. And when I was doing that, I would swim very calmly. I would respect their space. And then when they came past me, I could see if they were making eye contact with me. Were they swimming calmly by with a tiny little baby and not nervous and swimming off? Were they continuing to crater feed in the sand, even though I was watching them? Or the opposite. Did they slap their tail really loud on the surface? Did they clap their jaws together? I don't know exactly what they're saying, but I can tell their messages and understand a bit more about their comfort level with me observing them. Those of you who have, say, dogs or cats, you wouldn't know what your dog or cat was saying if they were just like telling you about their day, what they did while you were at school. But you do know when they're sending you a message that they want to go outside, that they want to play, that they want to curl up and just rest next to you. So there are lots of ways to communicate. Good question.
I love the analogy to dogs and cats too. I think that's really helpful for us to understand how dolphins communicate sort of in a similar way. So thank you. Sophia, so we just have a couple questions left. Sophia, yours is the next one.
What kind of threats exist for dolphins?
Oh, could you ask that one more time, Sophia? Sorry.
What kind of threats exist for dolphins?
So some of the threats to dolphins do depend on where in the world they are. Are they in a place where they're getting caught in fishing gear? Even if the fishers aren't trying to catch them, right? We call that bycatch, when a fisher is trying to get one species, but they accidentally catch another. Are they near a polluting factory that's contaminating their habitat? Then there are threats that are common to all dolphins, no matter where they live. Our fossil fuel burning power plants are sending mercury out into the environment that ends up going back into the ocean. And then that ends up getting in the fish that the dolphins eat. And that impacts the dolphins' bodies, it impacts their babies. Another threat to dolphins is the noise in the ocean. People often think of the ocean as a quiet place. It's very noisy all on its own in its naturalness. There's lots going on under there, but humans are making the ocean very, very, very noisy with all of our shipping, all of our exploration, our construction. And so with all this extra noise going on for the dolphins, it can be difficult for them to hear each other, to find their dinner, to detect their predators. And a noisier background might also just be fatiguing and tiring to them. It wouldn't be very relaxing for you to do your homework next to a construction site that had a jackhammer going all day, right? So we don't really know the impact that all of our noise in the ocean, whether it's shipping, exploration, construction, how that's impacting the dolphins. And of course, climate change. I don't know if the younger generations are just sick of hearing about climate change or feeling empowered to battle against it, but it's impacting all of the dolphin species, probably negatively. So even if a dolphin can be okay if the ocean gets a little bit warmer, if lower in the food chain, other prey items and the thing that the dolphins eat, well, what do they eat? What does that thing eat? If those things are being impacted because of the increased ocean temperature, then that's going to impact the dolphins too.
I'm glad you mentioned climate change, Kel, because I think us being in Wisconsin, we're not close to an ocean, so we might not think that we can have an impact on our ocean, but we definitely have, everybody in the world has impact on our climate. And so we do, even from Wisconsin, we can help the dolphins. So thanks for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Sure. And then Mackenzie, you are asking our last question.
What are some interesting, lesser known facts about dolphins?
Oh, I see why you saved this one for last. This is a goodie. It can always send me down a bit of a fun rabbit hole of cool tidbits. But what pops into my mind is probably the thing that drew me to marine mammals, even when I was a little kid, riding my bike to the library to learn more about whales and dolphins and seals and sea lions. They're so perfect in the water, yet they breathe air. They don't have gills. So that makes me think of a few things. First is that they're born tail first. And if you think about why that might be handy, most humans, if things go smoothly, are born head first, which is fine. We breathe through our nose and our mouth, and those things come out first, and we're in the air and we can breathe. Well, if you're underwater and your blowhole is up by your head, you want that blowhole to come out last. And since they're mammals, right, so they're having a live birth, so the calf comes out tail first, and then the blowhole is one of the last things to come out of mom, and it can get to the surface to take its first breath. And then that blowhole, what they breathe out of at the top of their head, the default position, that blowhole is closed, like our blowholes. Oh, I should have checked my nose first, right? If you think of your nostrils as your blowholes, they're open all the time, right? To close them, you have to do something. Well, for a dolphin, they're closed all the time, and the dolphin has to do something to open it up. And that's handy if you're living your life in the water, because you don't want to accidentally get water in your nostrils, in your blowhole, right? So this means that the dolphin has to retain a certain level of consciousness, a certain awakeness in order to get to the surface of the water for that blowhole to open and take a breath, and then it will just close again. But the dolphins also need to rest. They can't just stay awake their whole lives. So they've evolved to have one hemisphere or one half of their brain to rest at a time. So this half will rest, and then this half will rest. And that way, one half stays alert enough to let them take that breath. So that was kind of a bunch of little things all wrapped into one.
I'm so glad we asked that question because those were really some interesting, unique facts about dolphins. So thank you. Thank you, Kel, so much for being here again today. We really appreciate all of your time. We totally could talk about dolphins forever, and I'm sure you could share about dolphins forever as well. But sadly,
I can keep going and going.
Yeah. Sadly, though, our time is coming to an end for the dolphin expert Q&A. I learned some things. I already shared. I learned that dolphins can live in the rivers, which I did not know. But I also learned a lot more about how they communicate and like the interesting facts that you just shared. It's so fascinating. I wanted to also thank the girls for being here today. So thank you, Troop 6252. But again, Cal, especially wanted to thank you coming to us all the way from the Bahamas, being here tonight. We really appreciate you sharing all of your knowledge about dolphins with all of our Girl Scouts. So that is it for our Q&A. Thanks, everybody.
My pleasure.
Bye.
Thank you, Scouts.
Bye.
Excellent questions. Bye.
Bye.
Wow, the Dolphin Communication Project was great. I definitely learned something new about dolphins today. Hi, Girl Scouts. My name is Iman, and I am a Girl Scout ambassador with the Girl Scout Leadership Network. I'm also a Girl Scout board member. We're just about to wrap up the virtual Cookie Rally live broadcast. We hope you learned a few things and had some fantastic cookie and dolphin fun. We wanted to send you off with a few final reminders. Beginning February 1st, you can start taking your cookie orders online and in person. We also still have many more cookie-related activity videos available for you to continue the fun. You can learn about staying safe while selling, find out how to use your cookie proceeds to help your community, get selling tips from older Girl Scouts, do a few dolphin-themed activities, and so much more. Refer back to your virtual rally event confirmation to access all the other video links. You can do these activities today, next week, or anytime during this cookie season. Please take pictures of yourself while watching the cookie videos or trying the activities, and share your photos on social media using our custom event hashtag, Virtual Cookie Rally. And don't forget to tag us at GSWISE. Finally, we wanted to say thanks for hanging out with us during our virtual cookie rally. We know you're excited to get your cookie businesses started and begin selling. We hope this virtual rally and the additional pre-recorded activity videos are fun and will help you prepare for a super successful cookie season. So good luck on all your cookie goals, and let's go bright ahead into this year's fun cookie season.
What can she get out of a box of cookies? New perspectives, amazing adventures, self-expression, a better world, experiences and friendships to last a lifetime. She sees herself in Girl Scouts. You can too. Big fun, new friends. Be a Girl Scout.